Great afternoon, great day, everyone. Hello, hello. My name is Anissa. Hello, my name is Anissa Short. Thank you so very much for joining us this afternoon. I'm excited to share with you a little information about a phenomenal campaign that's underway this month. It's called the Choose to Forgive campaign. It is hosted by Chosen Pen Publishing and Chosen to Soar. And I have two wonderful women joining me this evening, Dr. Norma McLaughlin and Miss Colette Harrell, who's going to talk to us a little bit more about what this campaign entails. So let me just give you a sneak peek just before they share. I want you to know that the campaign is kicking off this month of May. It's Mental Health Awareness Month, and it's going to culminate in the month of September. Now, before you say, Anissa, that's a whole lot of days in between, I absolutely agree. But you know what? Every month is going to have a different focus. In the month of May, they're going to be discussing how forgiveness works with you or your mental health, your mental capacity, how it improves your mental health. In the month of June, we're going to focus on physical improvement. In the month of July, it's going to be about relationships or emotional improvement, and then spiritual. In between that, we've got two phenomenal events that's being hosted. We're going to hear more about all of that. Dr. Norma, you are the visionary for this forgiveness movement. Tell us a little bit about why this is so important to you.
Well, thank you, Anissa. This project is so important to me, basically, but first of all, because Jesus tells us that we must forgive. It's a commandment that Christ followers have. But second, it really started with me when I won't tell my whole story, but it started when I realized what unforgiveness had done to me and my family. So unforgiveness that I had done. And based on that unforgiveness, I had passed on to my niece, my grandniece, and on the way down. And once the Holy Spirit revealed that to me, I realized that that is such a detriment to people. And I was up teaching other people about forgiveness and realized, oh, okay, you shouldn't be talking about anything about forgiveness until you go back and get your own log out your own eye. So that was another reason I was very, very excited about doing this, because a lot of people don't realize that forgiveness is probably the most important commandment that we have, because without forgiveness, there's no way for us to be able to seek God and for him to hear our prayers. And the second part, you can hear that it's a great burden for me. It's been a burden for me for, I guess, for the last 3 or 4 years since that time in my life. But in seeing how people are walking their lives, walking in bitterness, walking and unable to move forward, where they're stuck in the different places, that forgiveness would help them. It helped a lot of my ladies that were around my table doing Bible study. And hopefully we'll be able to hear from some of them during the campaign as well. But how they were able to move forward once they asked for forgiveness. And it's such a simple thing to do. Although it's some pain and sometimes you have to go through a lot of it. And we'll talk a little bit about how you have to go through that in a minute. But it is such a significant and such an important part of our lives and for the peace in our lives, because my motto is forgiveness equals freedom.
I love that. I love that, Dr. Norma. One of the things I've heard you say is choosing not to forgive is like you taking poison yourself and expecting someone else to die. We don't realize that when we don't forgive, we actually negatively affect ourselves. And I'm thankful and I'm looking forward to the fact that you have several people from varied walks of life that's going to chime in on that. How unforgiveness affects us mentally, how unforgiveness affects us physically, how unforgiveness can affect us, our relationships, as you referenced in the story that you're going to share eventually. And then from a spiritual standpoint. So it affects us so many different ways. And it just it's a gift. It really, when you choose to forgive, it's a gift that you give yourself. So each month, there's going to be a focus. I realize we've got podcast interviews being scheduled. We've got some testimonies from some people who have participated in the forgiveness retreats that you've been hosting over the last 3 years. And Miss Colette, I know you have been an integral part of the success in this, because this is something you two do together. Tell us a little bit more about the retreats.
Well, first of all, I'm excited to be here. The retreats are all about choosing to forgive. The retreats are all about people understanding and realizing that their lives need to change. And they choose to come on the retreat to do 4 days of hard work so that they leave better than they came. And in the process of that, we have one-on-one coaching. We have group activities and coaching. We have prayer time together. We allow each other to be in a safe place where we unburden ourselves and allow ourselves to soar. It is a judgment-free zone. We want women to be comfortable. It is an intimate place. We never take more than 11 people at a time. And so that these women are able to give all of themselves into the process. And we also give time to be alone, time to reflect. We are in the Smoky Mountains in a luxury cabin. We are eating well 24/7 if need be. Leave your diets at home. But we are having a phenomenal time. You can sit in the hot tub. You can sit down with your new friend that you've met because you share so much. It's a journey that at the end, the women always continue to stay in contact. So it's a wonderful opportunity, not only to get free, but to meet people who are also getting free and who can appreciate your journey because they've been on the same one. So
Right.
I'm excited, can't wait. We've been doing this for 3 years. We have not yet had a group that we have not heard success stories from then on. So listen, I'm looking forward to the testimonies. I'm looking forward to all the ways the women will connect to those out there who may need to forgive also.
Right. So the campaign is going to culminate with this retreat, which is going to be held in September. Do you mind giving the dates and letting us know how one can register if they choose to participate?
Absolutely. The dates are in September the 8th through the 13th. It's in Tennessee in the Smoky Mountains. So please keep in mind that in September it's still going to be hot enough for us to just have our shorts on and lay out and just have a good time. Let's come back with those last season tans that we all can get. And you can go to chosenpen.com in order to sign up. If you follow any of us on any social media, you'll see the post to sign up. And listen, you better hurry because we got 5 slots left and we haven't even advertised it yet. So listen, it's a hot ticket in town. People are coming in. Please make your deposit, get on board, because our goal is to have you free the way we got free. Dr.
That's
Norma
excellent.
talked about the fact that she had to walk through it. I had to walk through it. When we met, listen, I'm in Ohio. She's in North Carolina. We initially met in Las Vegas, met again at a conference in North Carolina, and now God has us doing this fantastic ministry together. We are committed to each and every woman that comes, that she leaves free, that her pain becomes purpose. I'm telling you, get excited about these podcasts coming because these women's testimonials are going to blow you away. You're going to want to do the work so you can be free too.
Miss Colette, one of the things I absolutely love about everything I've heard up until now about the retreats is not only the sense of joy that the women have when they leave the mountain, but also the relationships that were established. And I heard you bring your own chef with you, so you have people there cooking. And you said before, you're going to choose to forgive, so you're going to give away and let go, except for the food. That's what you're taking in. So you may come, if you return home heavier than you came, it's not because you hadn't forgiven, it's because you had too much to eat, right?
That's right.
But anyway, we won't touch that. One of the things I want to visit is the exciting element that you've adding in this campaign, Dr. Norma. You too have worked and done the retreats, and you have testimonies from women who have participated in the past. You've got the podcast lined up to talk with experts, people from various walks of life, and to discuss from their vantage points how forgiveness or unforgiveness affects us. But then there's going to be a culmination of all of that pulled together into a documentary. And that documentary, if all goes as planned, we're going to have a gala that will include music and food and mingling and wearing after 5 attire. And then people will get a chance or have an opportunity to see the documentary. Tell us a little bit about why you decided to do that. I'm excited for you. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, I'm truly excited simply because the documentary will show the people talking about their unforgiveness, but the gala will celebrate their forgiveness. And when we talk about forgiveness equals freedom. So that night, we're going to celebrate freedom. We're going to celebrate all that, the weight that has been lifted, you've moved to chop down the bitter root, all those things that we talk about in unforgiveness. We're going to celebrate that night. We're going to be so excited. I'm going to be excited for all of those people. I hope all the ones that I've worked with from the time they were sitting around my kitchen table 5 or 6 years ago will also be there, and we will also have testimonies from them on the documentary. But it is a time for us to realize that we have done what thus saith the Lord. And it is a time to celebrate. And we will celebrate with all the finery that I can possibly visualize for us to use.
Yes.
So we got the red carpet. It's going to be laid out. We're going to have photographers there taking photos.
Everything.
Yes, we're going to be suited and booted. We're going to put on our best wigs and everything for that night, right, Miss Dr. Norma?
And did we mention that there'll be a 5-course meal? There'll be mocktails. We are going to have a ball. And not only is it the documentary, but there's other entertainment. So listen, Saints, it's going to be your night out. It's going to be your glad rag, your time to slide and glide. It's your two-stepping opportunity. And so we are looking forward to it, because guess what? You should celebrate forgiveness. Absolutely. You should celebrate being free.
Be like David coming back.
Yes.
We're just not going to take off clothes.
Yes, I don't want anybody dancing out their clothes, though.
Putting on clothes. We're putting on our after 5.
We're going to put on our after 5, and we're going to put on our smiles, and we are going to be so happy. Listen, I am coming down from Ohio to North Carolina because that is where the party will be happening. So if you do not live in North Carolina, if you're in Atlanta, if you're in Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, out of Kentucky, listen, follow us to North Carolina for the gala. We are going to put a high step in time on.
Absolutely. So listen,
just let me say, by then you will have been in some form of forgiveness every day if you're a part of this campaign.
That's right. That's right. Because what I want to say before we leave is that this is not a moment. This is a momentum. This is something that we are on a journey to do. Listen, somebody made me mad yesterday, but guess what? I forgave because I have learned to use the tools that we now give to others. So we are perpetually forgiving others so that we stay free. He said, with loving kindness, I draw them to me. And that is in Jeremiah 31. We want to be Christ-like and draw people with loving kindness. So we have to make sure that we're forgiving as we want others to forgive. Listen, brand new mercies every morning. His grace is sufficient.
So we know that forgiveness is a lifestyle. It's not just an incident. It's something that we do over and over again. And in choosing to forgive, we improve the quality of our lives mentally, relationally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. And that's what's going to be touched on during this entire campaign, starting this month of May through September 2022. Now, Dr. Norma, I know that everyone can plug in on social media. They can follow Chosen Pen Publishing. Information is going to be shared continuously at varied points throughout the week in each of the months. But we also have a website because we want people to register just to play it safe. We want everybody to be registered. We want their names and their email addresses so they can be an active part of this campaign, so we can still send the information to them in another format, especially because we're going to be giving away prizes, different types of incentives and goodies throughout the month. And we need to be able to contact the winners. We can't trust social media exclusively. But in addition to that, when it comes time to get the tickets for the gala, to get updates about the retreat, we want to make sure they're informed from that perspective as all. We know social media is a good platform, but we don't want to omit email. So if one wants to register their email address, it's my understanding that they can go to chosenpenacademy.com and register. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Anything else they need to know?
And that's what they need to know. And if you want to buy some books or whatever while you're on there, of course, you may look at that as well. But it's all about forgiveness as well.
And since this is all about social media, remember to follow us as we follow him.
Yes.
That's
Amen.
good. I love that, Miss Colette. So here you go, ladies and gentlemen. This is it in a nutshell. Between May and September, you have opportunity to follow them, follow the podcast, take into to heart the posts that are going to be shared with regards to forgiveness. If you are interested in learning more about the retreat, register. If you're wanting to be a part of the gala and attend with you and friends and family, be sure to register. Definitely got to register. If you want to win prizes and all these incentives they've been talking about, you got to be in it to win it. Be sure to register. Most importantly, even that, the posts that we see or that you may see that are on social media, share them with your friends.
That's
Because
right.
if the nugget is good for you, it's good for someone else too. Forgiveness is a lifestyle, and this Choose to Forgive campaign will not only serve you well, but it will serve others. Thank you, Dr. Norma McLaughlin and Miss Colette Harrell, for joining me tonight and sharing this information. And it'll be shared several more times. So if you miss this segment, you'll probably see it again. Don't forget Chosen Pen Publishing on Facebook. Follow them. Register to be a part of the campaign by going to chosenpenacademy.com. Any last words, Dr. Norma and Miss Colette?
I am so excited. I look forward to seeing all of you, hearing from all of you. Give me a call or email me.
Yes, looking forward to it. I'm enthusiastic. I'm excited. It's just going to be fabulous. Listen, let's go.
Have a great night, everyone, and thank you for watching.